Yo, what's up, guys?
Welcome back to Chakra OutLoud.
Let's go. What we say.
And you don't get upset.
We got some special guests here, right?
We
From
do.
Prep Coffee.
Please state your name and where you're from.
Go ahead, ladies first.
My name is Valerie, and I am from Prep Coffee.
Nice.
I'm originally from Staten Island.
Okay.
So,
What is it again?
Now moving to Jersey, Valerie.
Valerie. All right. Awesome.
Hi guys, my name's Sebastian. I'm also from Prep Coffee.
Staten Island, too?
Hell no.
Oh, no. I used to work in Staten Island, so.
I don't have enough hair to live from that fucking place. No, I actually grew up in Union City.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, which you guys have a background, right?
We used to have a shop in Union City.
Yeah, I grew up on 45th and Hudson.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
But I was born in Columbia.
Oh,
And
wow.
then we met up in college.
Good
She
stuff.
moved in and never left. So.
Now we're changing Jersey.
Hey, there we go. There we go.
They definitely are.
So here at the shop, we have a sip and paint coming up, a spring sip and paint that Mr. Smiley will be
It's
hosting.
going to be hosted by me. So
Nice.
I'm honored once again. I actually love doing sip and paints because I get to mingle with clients and stuff like that and people from the neighborhood, which is awesome. And I love teaching. I don't know why, but I thought tattooing was going to be my thing, but I really enjoy teaching. It's very gratifying. So I'm looking forward to this.
So we try to kind of like have different artists host our sip and paints to see everybody's style and so that everybody can kind of like network outside of like just
Like
tattooing.
from the shop or
From the
local?
shop,
Okay.
yeah, we would love to open it to like local artists.
artists.
Yeah. So we're actually thinking of having like an art show at the
That'd be
shop
cool.
and open it to like
So,
local
yeah.
artists. Yeah. But for the sip and paint, we usually have like one of our artists or apprentices kind of like
But they fold.
do it.
They
Host
fold.
it.
They
So
can't
it's
do
a
it.
sip and paint.
One of
The
our,
problem is that they sip.
They sip a little too
So
much.
one of our artists actually got extremely drunk and was messing up her design.
She met.
Nice.
So then we looked at everybody's shit was following her shit. And then everybody's shit was
She was,
following
she was doing like a boat, and
Yeah.
her sail was like
But
backwards.
she was taking more sips than the
Oh my
brush
God.
strokes.
She was, it's nerve wracking, right? When you're like in front of a
When
group
you're
of
on
people,
stage,
and
it's
yeah,
rough.
yeah. So
How
so
many
then when
people do
he
we
does
usually-
it,
That's hilarious.
How many people do we usually host?
15
at a
to
sip and
20
paint?
people.
Okay.
I think that the most that we had was a party of 25
Okay.
people.
Yeah.
But we try to keep it like
So,
manageable.
silly question. We've never been to one, right? So how does it work? I show up with nothing. I show up with
You show up with
everything?
nothing.
Nice.
No. They got to show
Except
up with
the
their own
bottle.
drinks.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to bring your own.
Whatever you like.
Like
Cool.
now,
You know?
whatever.
I'm
Wine?
gonna say hard liquor. Wine.
Beer and wine only.
Not whatever. Beer and wine only.
I shouldn't bring my cocktail shaker.
He comes with a keg on his shoulder.
Beer and wine only.
Fair.
And then we provide all of the supplies that you're gonna need. We normally have like a theme. This theme is going to be spring, so we're gonna be painting gnomes. And then
Cool.
That's gonna
yes,
be pretty cool.
it's like a step by step, right? So the instructor kind of goes through it. It becomes more fun as you sip, right?
Fair.
It's
Usually things
Yeah,
do.
right. Like
And-
other things.
Yeah. And you start to kind of like let your creative juices flow and things turn differently. So he can
Priority
teach you
is
things.
sipping.
So we've had
so-
people like follow the instructions, and then we've had people just completely go off the grid and just do like
Whatever they want.
and
So I
dope.
think the coolest group that I've ever had was the older couples.
Like
they were like
60
60 or
plus.
something.
Yeah,
Nice.
and they
Yo,
shut
all right.
us down.
When you
They
think,
just don't care.
yeah, when you think they're like, oh, it's just cool, humble old people. No, they were like, no, I love doing
whole
drugs.
time.
You should go party in Miami. Like,
They're
yo,
crazy.
babe. Like, do you got the pills? They're like,
They
"Fuck
have
this
they have
shit."
no
Yeah.
responsibility.
No.
So they're like,
So
They
they're
don't
like
give a shit.
edibles.
Yeah.
I
Fucking
was
awesome.
like, wow,
That's awesome.
okay.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it
Very
was a
sexual
very
and promiscuous, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
No filters.
Yeah, no.
Zero.
I cannot wait to get to be 60.
Right?
Yes, that is what I look forward
My
to
kid's
in
responsible
life.
for himself, so I don't have to go home.
It was great. It was they were a lot of fun. Yeah. So May 14th is our sip and paint. It's gonna be hosted
That's
by him. Tickets are on sale now at the Eventbrite. We had 15 tickets. I think we're down to like 8 maybe, and
That's pretty cool.
it just went up yesterday. Yeah.
Really nice.
So and without any promotion. So once we push that promotion,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure that
definitely
we'll be
gonna-
able to get that done.
Once again, we will not be attending Baltimore, the convention.
Stuffy J.
Yeah, I'm a little stuffed up
The
today.
allergies, right?
Yeah, man, it's
All right.
bad.
Yeah,
So
I hear
let's-
that.
What
I hear that.
conventions will we be hosting for the rest of the year?
So we are going to be doing Anime Incon.
Obviously,
in
we're not gonna do
Virginia.
Baltimore.
We're not doing Baltimore, right? So
Right.
we're doing yes, Baltimore
We're
was
doing
out of-
Virginia.
We're doing Virginia for Anime Con,
Con.
and then we're doing Tampa. We were thinking about doing Wildwood.
It's
But
back to back, right? 'Cause
my
it's
staff is
Virginia,
everybody's on vacation.
Tampa,
Me and John
and
and Ace would have been 3 weeks in a row conventions
Yeah.
from Virginia to Richmond, or from
sounds
Virginia to
exhausting.
Tampa.
dude,
back to
you
Virginia.
have no
So we
idea.
did Philadelphia, came back for a few days, and went to Atlanta, and we're still recovering from that.
But you guys also drove down to Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Drive to Atlanta, yeah.
That was a
17 hours.
That was a drive and a half right
Oh
there.
my
That was
god,
fun.
it was brutal.
It was just a little bit. Okay, back over to you guys. You guys said that you met in college. When you guys met, did you already have the idea of wanting to own your own business? Was prep idea?
Hell
already-
no.
No.
Hell
Okay.
no.
I never wanted to own my own business.
Okay,
Ever.
so what
Were
made
you
you?
involved in food prior
So,
to this?
okay, so quick background, right? I went to culinary school up in Rhode Island, school called Johnson & Wales.
Awesome.
Same.
I went to the same school.
But
I
I
went-
went for hotel management.
Right.
Okay.
Because I was like, can't cook, can't make toast, can't nothing, no
Right.
cooking, nothing. I got nothing for you.
I swear she bagged me because I can cook.
But so that was my
I'm not
plan.
gonna lie, that kind of did it for me too.
So at first I was like, I'm gonna marry a firefighter because he's gonna be hot.
Oh yeah.
Staten Island, right?
And
Here
then
we
I'm
go.
like, no,
Everyone's
I'm
backup
gonna be
plan.
too hungry. So I was like, I'm gonna go to a culinary school so that I can marry a chef so that he's gonna cook for me forever.
You had this thought out.
That makes sense.
I
Planned
thought
out.
it did.
Oh yeah.
He never cooked for me.
Oh.
we were in a dorm room.
Yeah,
No, no.
Oh,
Also,
It's just a microwave.
side
and that's
note,
it.
side
Just
note.
a
It's just a
microwave.
microwave.
It
You gotta
was
give
just a
them that.
microwave, and she just moved in. Like,
What's our
I don't have to
cooking for
woo
you?
you anymore.
I didn't cook. I didn't cook for
There's
her.
no wooing.
So like what? Our third month, like getting together, right?
Yeah.
I didn't cook. We're still on third month,
Like
fourth
3 or 4
month,
months.
something,
I
right?
don't know.
Yeah.
Something sounds weird. Hello.
Static.
Yeah, a little static.
So I was a year older. I only went for 2 years. I got my associates, and she was on a fast track program, so she only ended up doing 3 years. Overachiever, obviously.
Dreams. I was getting married. Someone was gonna cook for me. I was gonna live in a big house. I was gonna be rich. I thought for some reason the wife of a chef was gonna be rich. I didn't realize we
how
were
much they have to work.
Yeah, I didn't realize we were gonna work forever.
Yeah, it's like blue collar, very much so. Yeah.
Well, now it's different, but so eventually I'll cook for you too.
Eventually.
So then we left Rhode Island. She graduated.
Rhode Island is beautiful.
Rhode Island's beautiful. I love Rhode Island. Rhode Island's pretty cool. A lot of diversity. Definitely not Staten Island.
Well, before we left, we got married and
We
didn't
got married.
tell anybody.
Really?
You guys
Yeah, we
eloped?
eloped.
So mom
I
and dad
love
didn't know
that.
or
Nobody knew.
Nobody.
Crazy. Yeah, that's really
What
Yeah.
made you? What made you want to get eloped?
Um,
Especially because you wanted.
You know what?
A wedding, and I'm sure.
no, you know what? I never wanted a wedding. And when you were young, it is so easy to make these like I'm in love decisions
Yeah.
because you're so naive to the world.
Yeah.
You're still like, you know, loosey goosey, like head over heels, like in love, and you're like, we'll make anything work. It's gonna be the best. So we were like, well, we're moving out of Rhode Island. Like, obviously, we have to get married before we go.
Because we met here 3 days ago, so we might as well get married.
It was 2
How
years.
long-
It was 2 years.
Okay. Okay. 3 days. Wow, you guys did that. Okay.
No, so we got married, came to New York. She started working for Marriott. Like, she went big corporate. I did the whole fine dining, you know,
Okay.
tweezer, cooking with food, all
Okay.
that kind of stuff. Had a great time. And then we went to D.C. In D.C., she also still works for Marriott. And
So you
I
guys
worked.
moved from.
Yeah.
here
So
back
we
to
knew
DC.
that we were ultimately going to always be in Jersey.
Right.
So we wanted to go somewhere
What made you decide that you wanted to be in Jersey?
because I refuse to raise kids without my family around.
Ah,
Okay.
fair.
I like
Makes sense.
built-in babysitters.
Yeah.
And
Fair.
you
Fair.
guys
And
know,
just
having
that
kids is rough.
support, you know.
Oh my god.
We don't have built-in babysitters. We pay for one. Yeah, we pay for a nanny. Yeah.
It could be very expensive.
It's hard.
Yeah,
It's rough.
hard. Yeah, it is.
So, and then, you know, I love the Northeast. The Northeast to me is very special. Like when we went to DC, it felt like the South. It was slower paced.
Yeah.
People were,
Yeah.
you know, nice or whatever. And I was like, all right, this is
So-
cool.
And you kind of feel like a city slicker over
Right,
there,
I
right?
felt-
Everything
I felt
you
like
were.
super aggressive.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You're-
no,
Yeah.
like, I'm not a bad person. I'm just not nice as you are. Like, I don't even want for me.
That's why I don't want to live in Florida.
Right. It's just
Yeah.
rough. So down there, I worked for a whole bunch of like celebrity chefs, all that good stuff. Then we decided we want a family, moved back to Jersey, and then
So it was planned.
yeah,
Okay.
I went corporate. I
Okay.
worked for a company that basically ran food operations for an office.
Okay.
You know, 1,000 people in a building, everything from cafeteria to this, that, and the other.
Okay.
And then COVID hit.
And you were still working for the Marriott.
So we still work there, but on March 16th of 2020, we both got sent home. Everybody,
At the same time.
everybody across
We
the
swore we were
industry
gonna
got
be back
sent home.
Yeah.
We swore we'd be back
Everybody
in
across the entire industry got
weeks?
sent home, and they were like, "Okay, well, it's gonna be 2 weeks. You know, we're gonna. It's
Food
like the
industry
flu.
doesn't
It'll
stop,
go
doesn't get
away."
shut down.
So we come home and be like, "This is
Right, like,
great.
we're like, this
We
isn't.
get a 2-week vacation.
Yeah.
We're like,
2 weeks? We're like living our life. At this point, our son was almost 1.
Okay.
right.
So we're like, this is fantastic. I'm like, my maternity leave was like 3 months, not because of the company, but because of my own, like, oh my God, they're gonna forget me if I don't come back immediately.
Yeah.
Like, I have to work. I have to be visible.
We had this crazy
Isn't
mentality.
that
of always
terrible
working.
though?
Disgusting.
Same.
Disgusting.
Same.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, to the point where I would say the first 6 or 7 years of our relationship, although we loved each other and although we wanted to be in this relationship, we were definitely putting careers as priority.
Right.
And
A lot of other things is priority too.
yeah, life
Because
experiences, everything.
Careers, parents, friends, life, laundry.
So I have a question.
Well, that's a
both
lot of-
both as owners of businesses.
That's one of the issues in relationships too, like the finances.
Right.
If you don't have the finances right, sometimes relationship could. Like,
So you know how I
Yeah.
fix
it's
that?
not gonna work.
She does all of it. No, like, seriously. Like,
So do I.
I'm not gonna pay the rent, bro. I'm not. I'm
So
just
I
gonna
have
forget.
one question though. As owning a business with your partner, how do you balance the work to relationship? Like, how do you balance that off?
So you have to divide responsibilities, like everything
Yeah.
else, right? So like kind of what Smiley was saying, you have to figure out what you're good at as an individual
Okay.
and what your partner's good at. So I know that I'm gonna forget to pay the light bill.
and not get in their way.
Okay.
Because us control freaks would love to tell everybody how to do it, but
Right.
can't do it.
So I relinquish that. You know, like I don't know, we could be sitting on $1 million or we could be owing $1 million. I have no idea. I relinquish that to her. That's her responsibility. That's her. So I would get my paycheck, immediately send her the money.
It's not my strong point.
It's
either.
not my strong point. Like
So I remember when we first started, I don't want to say first started, but you know, I made good money. He made decent amount of money doing
Sure.
what he did. And I called him and his phone was disconnected. And I was like, how? How you make
You
all this
forgot.
money?
I just
He was like, I
you
forgot.
don't pay attention to things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
I
It's
forgot.
not
I
how we
was like, shut up. How?
So to answer your question, when you're working with your partner, and I tell a lot of people that I chose Val as my partner in Prep Coffee because it made sense, and I needed someone that I can trust.
That's it. You need somebody you can trust, man.
You just need that.
Yeah.
But in turn, she also has this trust level of giving me my space to be the creative person to say, hey, listen, let's push the envelope with this flavor or this mentality, or I want to do it this way. Sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But I have to see that it doesn't work without her telling me.
I'm the first one to be like, this is too salty, this is too spicy, this is too
Right.
much. No, look at the neighborhood we're in. People are not going to want these flavors. And then I have to take a step back and be like, ooh, no. Nobody wants this person.
Let him run
Right.
his field.
And you got to check yourself.
Yeah, and that's a real thing because I feel like on our end, right? They're submerged into the creative process, but we're the consumers, right?
Right.
So we're able to kind of like step outside and get that emotion that comes attached with the creation.
And we're also hypersensitive
But then
to
we're
their
artists.
opinions,
We're artists.
right? Like
What do
they're
you mean the line is not straight?
right. So like
Oh my
there are people
God.
who
It's
come
on
to
the
me and
chest.
say, "Oh, this is salty." Cool, fine, whatever. I
yeah,
fix
yeah.
it. She'll tell me it's salty. What do you mean? It's not salty.
What
Like,
part of it is
I
salty?
battle-
Yeah.
He's like, what are you talking about? It can't be salty because I only added this, this, and this, and Parmesan cheese, and yada, yada,
So
yada.
I'm,
And
I'm
like,
hypersensitive to
okay.
her opinion.
I think
So
that's an artist thing.
Yeah.
100%.
This is what it is.
It is what it is, and it's one of those things where we love to do what we do. We need the space to do it, but if we don't have them, we'd be broke artists.
To say that.
Still be a good artist,
Yeah.
I'll
He'd
all-
still
I'll
be
all
drawing,
I'll be all over the place.
but
I
would
have-
you have all of
I
what
got-
you have? You
I
don't
got
have the whole-
ADHD.
Yeah.
I'll definitely have less. I've read studies that says men that are married and go into business with their partners, men make 30% more in their lifetime than they would if they would be living by themselves.
you're welcome.
So I do appreciate
makes
that. You know what I'm
sense.
saying? But I could definitely understand the strong point. Finance and stuff like that, that is not my strong point. So I'm not going to sit there and try to be a fucking genius
No.
or go through school to try and learn what she knows when she's already doing it. You know what I'm saying? So what better person than your partner, your wife, to actually go into business with and stuff like that?
So 2020,
2020 hit.
Corona, everything got shut down.
Everything
you
got
guys,
shut down.
The first 2 weeks were fun. Well,
Right.
actually, the first 5 days were fun, and then we catch COVID.
Oh.
Yeah, we had COVID at
without
the
knowing.
height of
Early.
COVID.
Yeah.
Yep.
Caught it
People
early.
were
Because of
dying
course
left and
we
right.
were
Oh my
like,
God.
we thought we were on
Like, it was
vacation.
scary.
How traumatic.
Well, it was like I don't really pay attention to the news. I'm not a
Yeah,
person
yeah,
who like
same.
gets into it. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right, people are dying. this sucks, whatever. And like, I didn't want to be
Also,
insensitive.
we have a 9-month-old at
We
this
have a
point.
9-month-old, so we don't know how that's affecting it. We got COVID when like the tiger at the Bronx Zoo had COVID, and we thought all the animals were dying. You know what I mean? So like, we thought we were gonna die. I went to walk my dog. I walked up my driveway, and I was out of breath. And I was like, oh, that's it.
He
I
comes
made
up
it
the
to this
stairs
age,
and he's like,
I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna die. He's like, I didn't work out
It's all
enough. I
over.
didn't go to the gym enough, and now I'm gonna die.
So all those McChickens I ate is finally fucking me over.
They're good though.
So then we get through COVID. Thank God my in-laws were close by. We did this like bank transaction, put the kid in the driveway, closed the door, they opened the
Lysol
driveway. they grabbed the
his
baby.
cheeks,
Yeah, see you
Lysol
later.
everything. Because now
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't kill my parents. Like, I just moved back here. I can't kill them.
Right. So we get back, and then, COVID goes a little bit longer than expected. I can't sit still, ever.
And it was
Like-
just so sad. It got to this point of like, it was just so like, all you did was watch the news, and you're just so
Yeah, you're just
depressed
submerged.
and
You're just
sad.
you're
locked
just
in your
sitting there
house.
taking
Yeah,
this all
yeah.
in, right. So if I don't do anything, if I don't have something to focus on, I get in trouble.
Okay.
Like my mind wanders, I get bored. So I need something to constantly be taking my attention.
Me too. We have ADHD. That's an artist thing too. Like hypertension. What is it? Deficit disorder or whatever.
Oh, we're fucked
ADHD.
up. That's what
So
it is.
I can't really. I have to have a lot of things going on,
Yes.
or else I'm too bored and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
And
during
we get into
COVID.
arguments about it. She's like, we're too committed. There's too many things on. In my head, I'm like, no, we got it. I'm like,
Yeah,
we
I know.
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, it's not enough.
Sleep
Yeah.
later.
Later, not worried about
That
it.
is me, dude. Sleep later
And she's
sometimes.
just looking at me
Yes,
like, I'm tired.
yes.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
We can continue.
So we're like, what do we do? So I'm like, oh, should I go become a nurse? Like, I want to help people. Stupid me. I had nothing to think about.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, well, how are we gonna do this? What can we do? And I'm like, we can't do anything. We don't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
We have this trade of tourism and hospitality where you feed people. You're hospitable. That's all we know how to do. And so he wakes up one morning and he's like, so listen, I have this idea.
Here we go.
He's like, I thought about it. He's like, I thought about it. I thought about it all night. I haven't slept. I have this idea.
So that's the other thing. I was obsessed,
Yeah.
right? And I got something in my head, and I couldn't sleep, and I was like, all right, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? So then I decided, all right, we're going to meal prep.
Okay.
And then meal prep initially became something to do till I go back to work.
Yeah.
We didn't open an LLC right away.
Right.
It was literally 100% just
Yeah, it was
sheer will.
donate, feed the nurses,
Donate,
help
you
the
know,
people
Oh, that's
who need
awesome.
it.
people
So
came
that's-
to us and said, my daughter's a nurse here, and we want to buy meals and give it to her, and
Cool.
Yeah.
so it
My
started off that way.
husband is, in the
Firefighter
police
or whatever.
something, and
He stays downstairs, doesn't come upstairs, so I
I
want to
put
have
a
him
microwave
meal that he
down
could-
there. I want to make sure he's eating food.
Right, because people were still separating amongst the house, like height of COVID.
Mm-hmm,
So we started a meal prep company. As COVID went down, we had this clientele, and you had the people who were into gyms and whatnot, and still didn't have the time to cook at home. So we kind of capitalized on
awesome.
that. And then I looked at her one day and I said, all right, if we want to make this a real thing, we got to take it seriously, right?
No, but what he's not explaining is at this stage of this conversation, there's 3 refrigerators in our garage. There's 400 meals coming out of
How
our
long were you guys doing
kitchen.
this before you had this conversation?
Month, 2 months, 3 months, something
So
like
I
that.
was a meal prep client.
Yeah. So Sarah found us.
Oh, really?
Yes, I found
Oh,
through John,
fire,
who
fire.
worked out. Right.
Who worked out at the,
Yes.
Oh,
at the
okay.
gym. Right.
Delicious.
Word.
So-
Okay.
The best chicken salad I've had.
Yeah, so much
Yeah,
But
yeah.
to Val's point, by the time I said, all right, if we want to take this seriously, I was doing 400 meals out of my house
Yeah.
a week.
Right.
My oven thought it was Thanksgiving every fucking day.
God, it
hated
was
me.
so bad. There was one, I will never forget this. There was some kind of steak dish, an entire pan of steak, and we walked away for 2 seconds. No, the dog ate it. And I was like, that's it. I'm
That's
done.
great.
You got to take your food. You got to take yourself, and you got to get out.
So then I said to her, I was like, we can't do this at our house. Like,
Yeah.
it was too much. So then we started looking for a kitchen, right? Can't find a kitchen that doesn't have a storefront.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, well, just throw a coffee shop in the front and whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Sell some coffee. Put some waters
Lo
out
and
there.
behold, I can't do anything half-assed. I'm not just going to brew some coffee and give you a cup of coffee. So here comes the logo. Here comes the aesthetics. Here comes the fact that
Vibe.
I want to use the right coffee company. I want to use the right cups, all this other stuff.
Right. Yeah.
But to me, meal prep was the focus.
Yeah.
Then people loved the coffee.
I love the coffee.
Then people were like, oh, this is cool, right? And I'm not saying that other coffee shops around us, the big boxes, are bad or wrong, They're convenient. We go to them. I don't only drink my coffee. I go to Starbucks too. When Starbucks is close by, there's nothing wrong with it. But we became this like destination spot for coffee for people. And then somebody walked into the coffee shop one day, and actually multiple people did this, and they would say, "Oh, this is cool. How many locations do you guys have?" No, this is the first one.
This is the one, yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, this looks really cool."
At this stage, I'm still like telling people, I'm like, no, this is just a side hustle. Like we have jobs. Like we're just
Signed a
So
5-year lease.
this wasn't even like.
no.
How
Okay.
did that feel? Because I know what it felt like when we signed a long-term lease like that.
So something people don't know is you can structure leases to protect you as the tenant. You can do what's called the good guy clause, right? So if you are able to negotiate, you can have a clause where you can tell your landlord, hey, listen, I want to take this clause into effect. I have this amount of months to get out. If he finds a tenant sooner, whatever. If he doesn't find a tenant, then I get to walk away. When I knew that, when I learned that, I said, well, what does it matter?
Yeah.
I can afford a year. Let's see this for a year.
Yeah.
Now, the only reason we could afford a year is because pre-COVID, we wanted to buy a house, and we were saving up for it. So we took that money and put it into the coffee shop. So
There
once
goes my dream of a big house. I'm already not being cooked for, and now my dream of a big house is gone.
But you own a business.
But I
should have married that firefighter. So then in walks in this gentleman into the coffee shop, and we saw an opportunity, right? And he loved the coffee shop. He wanted to sit down with us and like get to talk to us about it. And I looked at Val and I said, this is our way out. I looked at this human being and I said, you want to buy it? I'll sell it to you. In my
big
head,
house dream.
I wanted to
It's
sell
coming
it for
back.
like
It's coming back. I'm like, yes, we don't have to do this
10%
anymore.
more than what I invested in. I wasn't looking to like cash out or anything like that. And he looked at me and goes, hell no, I don't want to run this. I want to make more of these. So we took on an investor named Vikram, awesome guy. And to me, it's the perfect investor for us because he balances the three of us out.
Okay.
So great ideas, 100% a different thinker than us, but lets us do what we need to do, understands our strengths, has conversations with me about creativity, sends me ideas. You know, man that travels a lot, so he gets to see a lot of different things, but his background is IT, so he has very different conversations with Val, and, you know, systems operating and all that kind of stuff, they geek out over that stuff.
Yeah.
So now not only am I supporting his creativity, somebody else is supporting me and is like, yeah, he's doing great, but like, I want you to be successful too.
Yeah.
So he was like the perfect business partner for you
Yes.
guys.
What a blessing.
that is,
Yeah.
that doesn't just happen. That is,
That was meant for
I don't
you
care what you
guys.
believe in, but
Yeah.
that is God sent.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's kind of where we're at. We're about a week and a half to 2 weeks opening second location.
Congratulations.
First-
We're
first
excited.
First
We're
one turns a
excited.
year
Yeah.
at the end of the month.
That's exciting.
And what's funny, side story, the day we opened the first location, I looked at Val and I said, all right, well, I'm done. Because to me,
that's
the
huge.
fun part is leading up to it, right? Building the ideas and all that stuff. Once it's open, now it's just operational. It's not as exciting. So I looked at her, I was like, all right, now we got to work on the second one. And she looked at me like, you nuts? We had no idea how we were going to do it. I said, we're going to do a second one.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Awesome.
I get that.
Here
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah.
So it's funny because we're trying to be in the same trend as opening a second location, third location. You know, we're trying to turn this into a franchise because
100%.
you don't. In the United States, there is no tattoo shops that has been franchised. You don't know. If you ask a little 5-year-old, what famous artist do you know? What famous tattoo shop? They're not gonna answer. They don't know.
They don't know it.
It's if you ask them what's the biggest shoe company, they'll say Nike.
100%.
We're trying to get to that level. You know what I'm saying? The only thing is in our industry, it makes it difficult because working with people that have bad character traits or bad habits that come from different shops, kind of make it difficult for us to hire people
Right.
and continue to grow.
You guys
know?
are also going against a certain stigma in your industry.
Let me tell
It's huge.
Like
Because
something as simple as like the floor in your shop is white.
Yes.
Most shops are not that
no.
transparent.
Yeah.
No.
yeah.
I am very particular about how I like things cleaned.
100%.
Especially because we deal with like blood and
Sure.
you know what I mean. So
You're poking people.
one of the most important things for me was to keep my floors white. I want
Sure.
to see everything that
Right.
is on my floors. So, yes, congratulations on expanding.
Thank you.
I don't want to keep doing this. I want to grow this, and I personally want to like invest in property and start doing other things because
Well, this is
people
the
are
thing.
so much.
We've been traumatized from the experiences of
Yeah.
people in this industry because we're dealing with a whole bunch of rebels, basically,
Yes.
and freelancers. People that think that they don't really need you, they could do this in their house in their basement.
Yeah.
And dealing with people with that kind of
ultimately,
mentality makes it
physically, they
difficult.
can. They can
Yeah.
100% tattoo someone.
Yeah,
but
they
Are
can.
they a business?
Right. So
Do they have the structure behind them? Do they have?
retain your staff?
Oh God, we are so lucky with the
100%.
staff that we have found.
So, mind you, when we opened the first Prep Coffee, we had like 5 staff members. And
Four of which
four of
had
which
never
are,
worked
like,
in
our
a
friends.
coffee shop.
legitimately our friends who have real jobs.
Yeah.
But they believed in our concept.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, I'll donate my Thursday to you or my weekend or this
yes,
and that.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
legitimately. So we owe everything to our
And
team.
we're standing there and we're so tired because we're working 7 days, long hours. We're back to
You're
what
working
we
extra.
were doing 8 years
You're
ago,
working more
which
than an
is
employee.
you're hustling so hard,
Yeah.
and you're so ready to break, and then somebody walks through the door who is your friend and sees how busy you are and just gets right behind the counter and starts helping.
That's how we got.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, I'm just like ready to stand there and cry
And like,
because
we
I'm like,
can't afford to pay them
I have stood there.
a lot of
Yes,
money,
yes.
right? Like I sell these for a very small amount of money. I have to sell a lot of these to cover a full salary. So I couldn't say like, hey, listen, I can pay this. So what we did was we took them in. Like, hey, you want to come over to my house? I'll feed you. I'll feed you till you get tired. I love to drink. Let's hang out. Let's have beers. Let's have whatever. So now the joke is they won't pay you, but if you hang out there, they'll feed you and they'll take you out for drinks.
yeah,
Right? And
yeah.
most people will take it. Plus, we try and create this really fun environment. I wish that I could pay people more. I really do. But we're a startup business. We're a
Yeah,
small company.
yeah.
I can't compete with the big boxes who offer you benefits and all this other stuff. Do I want to get there one day? 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do I want
Of
to
course,
give that to my
of course.
employees? 100%. But the people who are with us now, they believe that we can get there, and they're down for the ride. And there are employees who come in on their days off to hang out,
They volunteer.
and then they just end up working because they're there.
What?
That's
I
awesome.
have a question. What made you choose the location where you are right now?
So we were actually focused on another location for a while, and it would have been a huge build out, and thank God it didn't happen.
Right here in Old Bridge or another
No, this
township?
was in Sayreville.
Okay.
We have a community in Sayreville. We have a lot of our friends are there. That gym that we talked about was there. Isabella Fitness, great place.
Awesome.
Helped us start our business.
Helped
so
us
we're
start our
forever
business.
grateful.
Everyone there was super supportive in the initial part of it, and then we just couldn't agree with the landlord. It just didn't make sense. So then we reached out to someone we knew from
No,
Isabella
this
Fitness.
was completely accidental because what you don't remember is our current business real estate agent. Her name is Sasha. She is fantastic. She went to the gym, and her and I were working out next to each other one day, and she just happened to tell me she's a real estate agent, and she, that was it. And then we worked out. We ran around a couple times. We're exhausted. Complained about the workout. Now we're dealing with this real estate landlord, and I'm like, well, let me see, maybe she really paid a lot for the space. And I was like, let's get some insider information. So I messaged this girl, Sasha, on Instagram, and I was like, hey, do you have a way to see, how much, this woman paid for her building? Why does she want so much for rent? And then she's like, yeah, but she's like, I have other locations. Let me just show you a couple other locations. The next day, she brings us to our location in Old Bridge, and that was it.
That was it.
Awesome.
3 days we signed a lease.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because it made
That
sense.
is
Here we're
awesome.
trying to make something work that wasn't working,
And it won't work.
and the right thing is just open the door a little bit. Just
Open your mind.
Yeah.
Just let some.
Stop
let
being so
someone,
stubborn.
Stop trying to force it. Right.
So, what would you say has been the biggest lesson that you've learned since
You're good.
since operating your business?
I make really good coffee. No, I'm just kidding. So it's interesting. I've managed people for a good portion of my culinary career, right? And I've always been very cautious of making a really good environment. When people are in a positive environment, they have fun. When they have fun, they
Yeah.
produce better things. So, at the end of the day, it's a small business. We argue. I don't hold back. When I'm angry, you will know that I'm angry. I don't attack anyone. But you'll know, he's pissed off. Now, when she comes in, I'm comfortable. So I tell her that I'm mad. And then she'll tell me, you need to relax. Well, that doesn't work. So they call us mom and dad. and then they walk away. They're like, oh, mom and dad are fighting, and then they all go to the front. So like, I feel comfortable to be myself, but I create a great environment where they get to also be themselves.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I think that's the most important thing. Whatever your business is, tattoo shop, coffee shop, McDonald's, anything. If it's a positive environment, people
People
will
would love to be there.
Yeah, they're gonna gravitate towards it.
It's funny because Lisa say that all the time. She said, you know, I be going through shit, and then when I come in here, I just feel so much better. She said, I love being here. And I love hearing that, too.
You hang out.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It doesn't even feel like work. It doesn't even feel like working.
No.
It just feels like you're hanging out with your friends, and you're
Right.
all doing something. You know what I mean?
And then that also brings in the right clientele.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. It's an energy
Because-
thing. Absolutely.
You know, we're all about including people in the community, and you know what? Maybe you're not comfortable in your house. Maybe you're not comfortable somewhere else. Maybe you're struggling for
Hang out
whatever
here.
reason. Come hang out here. Listen to us, you know,
Yeah.
yell at each other in the back and think, oh, okay, it's not just me.
Right, like we're normal people. So
Yeah.
So what is your I guess your vision for your impact in the community? Because I see that you guys do a lot of things for the community. Like I walked in
So-
the other day and you guys had like coffee with cops or something.
yeah, we had a PBA
It was
thing.
freaking great. I was
So
so happy.
the
It was
thought
packed
behind-
in there.
The thought behind PBA was 99% of the time, whenever you interact with a cop, it's not positive.
Right.
Somebody called them, you got pulled over,
Yeah.
they saw you doing something you shouldn't be doing, whatever it was. So this event is for the community to come meet cops in uniform, not threatened. Bring your kids to meet cops, which I think is huge. If you let your kids get to know what a cop is like at a young age,
So
they're going to
important.
create a different impression than what
Yep.
we see on social media.
100%.
So we had that event. We try and do as many events as we can. You know, we've done SEPTA events. We've done adoption events for dogs, all
Nice.
kinds of things. So my thing is, Prep Coffee is specialty coffee. A lot of thought behind the flavors and the creation of the drinks. But realistically, there's a statement in our coffee shop that's big city coffee
Yeah.
with small town vibes.
Nice.
The goal is to know your name when you come in. The goal is to do something for the community as much as you can.
Yep.
So in Old Bridge, it might be these certain groups. In Red Bank, it might be a different group. So as we expand and as we open more, the community aspect is just whatever that community needs. Not every community needs educational situations with
Yeah,
cops. They might need something else. So that's what we want to do.
And is that what you focus on? Is like that community outreach?
Yeah, you know what? We're very big into the schools because the schools have been supporters of ours since the beginning. And I'm a really, really big advocate of if we just teach our kids to be better, when they are sitting in
Absolutely.
these seats,
100%.
they will be better.
Absolutely.
They will be less inclined to say, "Oh no, he's not like me. She's not like me." I got to
Yeah.
stick with my own people or whatever it is that kids do. And I want my son to have that. And I want, I
That's
just
awesome.
want that for kids.
Because we're trying to involve ourselves with the school system as well, and incorporate tattooing and art into the
Yeah.
That's really nice. When you guys are starting up a business, how important do you feel it is to throw events, host events, have people come into your establishment?
So it's interesting because when you answer that question, everyone's going to be like, oh, they're just marketing themselves or they just want you to come in and spend money. No. I want you to come in and see what we're about. If
Yeah.
you want to come back, that's on you.
That's on you. Yeah.
right? Like if I did a good job at whatever that event was, then you're going to come back. If I didn't do a good job, you're not coming back.
I don't need a one-time customer.
I
I
don't
need
need
a
a one-time
lifetime
customer.
I
customer.
need a repeated customer.
If I wanted a one-time customer, I would have put my shop on Route 9 with a drive-through,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Because there's
Yeah.
a shit ton of traffic there.
Yeah.
No, I want a small town where I want people to come back. And we've had people come in, never said a word. They order, they sit down, they sit there for hours. The 7th time that they come in, hi, Sebastian, how are you? Now they decided. So the goal is to create an environment where you decide when you want to be part of our
dope.
community, but
Yeah.
we're here for you. So it's one of those things that you just have to let them know who you are. It's like meeting someone.
Yeah.
We're a business that came into this town. We have to introduce ourselves. The only way to do that is to put ourselves in a situation where you come to see us.
Yeah.
We are who we are.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's pretty much it.
No, for real.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice, Sarah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're asking me the
Yeah,
question? Oh, I feel, well, especially for us, right? We were the first tattoo shop here in Old Bridge. And so our main focus was to kind of like destigmatize the whole outlook on tattooed.
Which is why
tattooed parents.
We designed
Yeah.
the way our
Yeah.
shop
Right
is
off the
that.
bat,
To
like-
make it
like-
very inviting for parents, kids, and all that. 'Cause
And
we
you
have kids
did.
ourselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, so
that shop is
pre-COVID,
amazing.
Thank
It's
you.
so welcoming.
Thank you. So pre-COVID, we used to have a lot more events, and kids would be there, and like we have video games, and so it was way more family friendly. And then COVID happened, and we were like, "Ooh, sorry, you can't bring your kids."
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
But things are starting to like go back to somewhat normal, I guess. And I'm starting to see parents like come in, and honestly, like the kid just hangs out on the couch, plays on the iPad, watches TV. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a cool environment. But also it's cool to see like that transition from when we first started, where there was a lot of like that hesitation, right? That hesitation that I don't know. And now people are like, "Hey, I'm coming with my kid next week. Do you think you can schedule
'cause
something
it's
out
like
for
the whole
them?" Or
stigma of motorcycle gangs and gang members. And
You're,
Yeah,
you're trying
yeah.
to break.
inmates. I'm trying
How
to-
long
I'm
is
trying
your
to break
How's
that.
long is your shop been open?
going on 4 years now.
Okay, so for 4 years, they've been trying to change the perception of something that's been going on since what, the 70s?
Yeah. So
Wow.
The
so I
60s
remember when I
tattooing really
first
became
when
a
I
thing.
first walked into my kids' school. I think
It
we
is.
moved like in the summer, like right before the summer. It was still warm out. I guess it was September, and I walked into the school, and I have a whole leg sleeve, right? And I remember
Everybody's staring.
oh my God.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
whoa. Like all that energy just
Yeah.
kind of shifted when I
Yeah.
walked in, and I was like, hi. And now, like, so many of the teachers are our clients. Like my daughter's like, oh, I saw chakra tattoos that my teacher had, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. So it's cool to see where we started with that and where we are now. And if it wasn't for like events, if it wasn't for events, right,
Yeah.
and for really putting ourselves out there for people to see who we are as people, aside from like just the tattoos, I don't think we would have had the success that we have like in our community.
And we always stay involved with the community.
Yeah, yeah.
We donate.
We do events
We
with
do
the
events.
township, like you know, it's
We sponsor basketball teams, baseball teams, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
To get us involved with the community,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Really nice.
And it's not for, let's be honest, just because the logo of my brand is on your kid's jersey
That's not it.
does not mean you're
No.
ever going to step foot in my coffee shop.
Right.
Yeah.
So
No.
for us, like, it was really important. Like, we come from like underprivileged communities, right? We come from the hood, and so to come out
Staten
here,
Island.
huh? Not Staten Island, no, no, but we come from like the hood.
But
So
look at us all together.
yeah, right. So I come here and I realize like it must really suck to be the kid that has less in a community that has so much more, right? So we want to be able to kind of like gap that bridge between what your parents can afford and what you deserve to have at the moment, right? So that's why we invest in kids, in athletics, in art, and whatever it is that child is going to need in order for them to succeed. And if we have it, yeah. Here it is. It just so happens to be that I own a business that's able to do that for you. So
Right.
I'm gonna slap
And
that
we have
logo on
kids.
there.
Sure.
Yeah.
We had kids of our own. We have 6 kids.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
know what our kids and what we want as parents for our
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of parents that want similar things for the kids, the best for their kids. So we like to help parents out that can't do that necessarily. So I love being
It's
part
a
of that.
social
man.
responsibility.
Facts. It
You're
is.
part of this community. Now, does that mean you have to put a kid through college?
No.
But if that kid's gonna feel better because he's got clean cleats on,
There you go.
guess what?
Or
Simple as
giving a
that.
kid a job.
So
We have a high
hired-
schooler.
That's
She
awesome.
she worked hard. She came in, followed up on emails. She wanted this job.
Yeah.
Her mom never spoke. The only time we saw her mom was because her mom drove her. She literally couldn't drive to the coffee
Yeah.
shop. But
So she starts she hounds me for a job for months, and she follows up in the most professional way.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I'm like, all right, she's in high school, she's probably like going to be a senior, or whatever. She starts and like she's very well spoken, and I'm like, oh, like she's she's going to
doing
graduate
it.
soon. So like Sebastian's like, oh, like what college do you want to go to? And she's like, well, I have a couple more years. And Sebastian's like, what? How old are you? She goes, I'm 14.
legal to work.
And I'm like, okay,
You're
she
legal
did,
to work,
you
you got
did come with
working
working papers. I remember this now.
All I need
Okay.
is working papers.
But like, I
she
trust this
kills
girl
it.
taking orders.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
Like, I
love
put her on a register where she's gonna interact with full-fledged adults.
that.
Yes.
And she does her thing.
And they ask her
Yes.
questions, and she answers them, and then she makes them their coffee.
That's awesome.
There's not many 14-year-olds out there that can do that.
I have a 14-year-old.
You know what I mean?
I have a
younger
terrible
brother
though,
who
but-
I love him to death, but he's dumb as rocks. So I stick him in the back washing pots. So, but this girl, she's worked hard to be able to be in that position. So guess what? I'm going to encourage her to do that.
That's great.
And if that's our social responsibility at that moment,
And that's what it is.
that's what we're going to do.
So when we met our shop manager, Megan, it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Megan.
Happy birthday.
They had just banged out our windows. Like we had just opened and somebody just broke all our windows, right? And she used to do like instructor at the karate, right?
And it was 2 in the morning.
And she just showed up.
She showed up out of nowhere.
She was like,
on Instagram.
Yeah, and she was like, I saw they broke
just saw
your
you-
windows,
yeah.
and I wanted to make sure that you guys were okay. I think she had just turned 18 at the
And
time.
she's
No,
like, come
maybe
to help.
17.
So she's helping them pick up the glass and all that.
So she helped all night. She
Oh
stayed
my
with us
God.
through the
2 in
night.
morning,
Yeah, like,
cleaning and-
and then she came back the next day to make sure that we were good. And
Yeah.
then, like, that's how our relationship started. And now, like, I had surgery over the summer, and I was out for 6 weeks. And granted, it didn't run the way that I would have run it, but it ran.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And
We
that,
went on vacation 3 months after we opened.
3 months after.
with her
we,
there.
we opened a full-fledged business
And went on vacation.
and went on vacation 3 months
That's
later because it was
ballsy.
Well,
planned
we-
before the business.
Okay, fair.
We also
So I had no
we try not
choice.
to take, no, it's because we try not to take anything away from our son.
Right.
We wanna.
He didn't open a
we,
business,
We
Right.
grew up.
right? So like it's not fair to him.
Right.
We grew up as immigrants whose parents had to work
All the
time.
Yeah.
It just, I cannot tell you, morning to night, all the time. There were so many events, and, you know, I played tennis and tennis matches and just things that I would never even ask my parents to come because I knew that they would feel bad if I did.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
never even asked. So
Right.
we make sure that no matter how hard we work,
You're there for
But the
them.
only reason
Yeah.
we were able
Yes.
to take that
That's amazing.
vacation is because of our team.
Right.
100%. And like you said, maybe there was a couple mishaps that I would have done something differently.
Right.
But that's me.
Yeah, but overall,
But
man,
overall,
like,
it opened,
Yeah.
it closed.
there was a 20-year-old running my shop.
Yeah.
Like what?
and people were happy.
yeah, they were
Also-
happy.
People were like, I just got
Yeah,
coffee,
comments were
everything's
still
so
coming
great.
in, reviews were coming in. Alyssa was there, and she never drank a cup of coffee before she started working with us.
Oh wow.
Right? So like these people are not financially invested.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
nothing.
100% just being like, I really like these two people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need my help.
Yeah.
I want to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
felt
how do you
terrible.
not want to help back?
I felt terrible when I hired Megan, and I was like, okay, this is what I can pay you.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, like, and I know that you're
You wanna
way
pay them
smarter,
more, just like
and
yes,
and I
yes.
and I want to offer you everything that I
starting
feel like you
Yes.
deserve.
Even though it's
And-
our 4th year, we're still like at the beginning stages
Yeah.
of the business.
Right, especially because we had a big build out, so it was
Right.
a
And
lot of
COVID and
right.
all
Yes.
that, because we were closed for COVID, what, 6 months?
6 months.
6 months.
It's
and,
tough.
And I was still tattooing. Like, I had tattoo in my basement, or I would come in and tattoo in the back by the bathroom with the
Right.
lights off, so
Right.
we were in trouble because I still had to sustain the business. and stuff.
Yeah, everything still had to get paid. So even though
Yeah, sorry.
even though everything was closed, right?
I was still working,
still
and
have to pay.
I
Of course,
still
of
had to
course.
work through.
Still got to pay mortgages.
Yeah.
Still got to feed the family.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Family, the mortgage,
The lights.
this place was
Yeah.
still like landlord is still like here's your invoice for your
Right.
rent for
Right.
next month, you know. So yeah, you do what you have to do in order to kind of. Push
It's
through.
interesting because, like, sure, you'll see me, you'll understand that Prep Coffee is this 3-owner thing, Val, Vikram, and all that. But ultimately, I'm able to sit here right now. My shop's running.
Yeah, facts.
My shop's running, and so is yours. Everyone's setting up
It's a team.
because we have a team, right?
Yeah.
We have cooks, we have artists, we have front desk people, we have
The
counter
team
people.
is very
and they
important.
show up every day.
Every day.
That is what, when we first opened, I used to, there was a point where I went back to work. We got it open, and then I had to go back
She
to
left
work.
me.
And you were busy too. Something was going on. And I remember waking up
I was
every
working.
single day.
Yo.
And my biggest fear was I was going to look at the cameras, and it was going to be 15 minutes after somebody was supposed to be there, and nobody was going
Nobody
to be
was
there.
there.
And it never happened.
We had a few, you know,
They're
we had a few
humans.
kinks to work out.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
But that, like, sinking feeling, I don't have that anymore.
Yeah, we don't wake up and check the
No.
cameras to make sure you're there.
I mean,
No, they're
just
just it
there.
just runs, and then at like 9 a.m. I'm like, shit, I gotta check on them. Like there's people there. They probably need something, and I call, and
They
I'm
don't
like,
need anything.
do you guys need anything?
No,
Like,
no,
oh,
they're- we're fine.
no, everything's fine. Okay.
Isn't that the best?
Yes, yes.
Help develop people into
Yeah.
kind of like do their own thing. 'Cause, like I like for things to run in a certain way, and so I always felt like I had to kind of like hold on. But I have a family, and so my family comes before that. So I had to kind of like start releasing some of that and be like, okay, these are the systems that we put in place. I need you to follow.
Also, you have
Work-life balance is
work-life
important.
balance. You have
Yeah.
to show them that, right? You have to show them that although this is a massive investment for us, we make time for our kid.
Right.
And in return, when you come to me and say, "Hey, I messed up. My dad wants to do this for my mom." Cool. I have to stay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
And
Go
we
be
will
with your
figure it out.
family.
Yes.
I will figure it out.
Yes.
Because when I needed you, you were there. So now I gotta give that back. It's a relationship. It's a balance.
100%. It's really nice, guys. We're gonna head into the halftime break. We have a great episode for you guys. We will be back in a minute.
Let's go. Let's
Welcome
go.
back, guys.
We're back. Sorry, I'm on my chill mode. You know what I mean? I'm just like reclined.
So
All right.
we've been through a lot. We've been through the origin stories of how Prep became, how Chakra became. What is next for you guys? What is in the line next month, next year, 5 years?
So we're definitely opening up in Red Bank.
'Kay.
Hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
Congratulations.
We're gonna be there too.
We're right on Broad Street. We're excited for a new community, a new group of people.
Yeah.
It's definitely a busier area, so that'll bring its own challenges. So we're still really excited about that. We'll do a grand opening that we'll announce a couple of weeks later. We have a couple of events that we like to do. So like we do latte art throwdowns where we invite baristas from different coffee shops and they go head
That's
to
awesome.
head on
That's cool.
pouring latte art. So we'll probably do one of those coming soon in Red Bank. And then long term, we wanna open as many prep coffees as it makes sense.
Right.
Is it
Yeah.
2?
Yeah.
Is it 12? I don't know yet.
Yeah.
And I don't want to force it. Like the towns will come to us, things will make sense. But yeah, if you follow us on Instagram, Prep Coffee Co.
Yep.
And then you'll see all of our events there. We also post anytime we do a special or a new drink or.
Where are you guys located now?
3996 on 516, right across from the gardening center. There's like a strip mall, I guess you would
Yeah,
call
it's like a
it.
strip mall in Old Bridge.
Plenty of parking, so you don't have to parallel park because
Parking's in the back.
Really cool spot. Really cool
People
spot.
don't understand. It's a little weird. You come in through the back.
Look at John.
What is McDonald's?
John.
I love John with his McDonald's shorts.
Yeah, so we're pretty excited. A couple of events that we'll try and put together at Red Bank, and then we'll see what happens from there.
just keep supporting the community. Keep trying to do what we can do. I do just want to shout out, we are doing I guess it's not a donation, but we're collecting both monetary funds and
Nice.
medical supplies and hygiene products to send over to Ukraine. I am from Ukraine,
that's awesome.
so
Yeah,
it's
really nice.
super.
Because we have 2 bags that we filled up
And you didn't know what to do with?
with a whole bunch of items and stuff.
So,
and
Take it.
so our daughter came home with a little sheet of paper and she gave it to Dad.
Yeah.
Dad went out, did all the shopping. Forgot he had to hand it in. So they're home.
We'll
And
take
now
'em.
we know where we can
it
go.
goes to that thing that
That's
we forget
perfect.
things. Yeah.
We did it though.
I did it.
we did what we were supposed
I didn't
to
follow
do.
through. I didn't follow through. I'm sorry.
We'll
Sorry,
take
Megan. I
'em.
love you.
We'll send them, and you know what? We will do our best to continue to support communities everywhere
Yeah,
we can.
absolutely, 100%.
That's amazing.
So yeah, so definitely always. I want to remind you guys to like the video and follow us on Instagram at Chakra Tattoos.
And follow Prep Coffee.
Prep Coffee.
Prep Coffee Co.
Prep Coffee Co. on Instagram.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
an amazing episode here today, guys. Thank you, Prep, so much for coming out, joining us here. And
Thank you
we
for
hope have
having
So
you.
us.
remember, share and hit the like button to let the algorithm know that you like our content.
Cool.
Amazing. And
Thank
we'll see
you.
you
Thank you
guys
guys
next
for coming
time.
through.
Bye.
It was awesome.